Silvergate has, a network dealing with all the exchanges, majority of the exchanges, and have grown massively. But in one quarter wiped away their history of retained earnings. How did this happen? And, this clearly has the banking regulators up in arms, because after this happened, I remember I've got emails, they're checking all the banks, what is your volatility to the crypto industry? And, I understand why there's concern, especially based on this. So I wanted to look at a few things. I have, we're just going over a little bit of face value, not diving in too deep, but you look at September's call report in Silvergate, they had an income of $117 million. Now you go to the end, loss of $729 million. So in one quarter, $846 million was lost. I mean, I think this is bigger than what was happening in pre-2009. You saw a lot of banks go under with bad failed loans. It usually took a few quarters, even a year, to have this such massive. But I do have to give it to them. There was such a huge loss on deposits that it is amazing that Silvergate was able to sell enough securities to fund it. And so let's go through a little bit of kind of what happened. And feel free, listen to earnings calls, give me your thoughts and, what you think. They had nearly, I believe it was around $12 billion on deposits related to crypto exchanges. Estimated maybe $1 billion that FTX was holding. And in one quarter, nearly $8 billion in deposits was lost. Was taken. So they had a run on the bank. So what did they do to do that? How did they fund that run? Well, they had to liquidate securities. So in this day and age, I believe they thought they were doing the prudent thing was, hey, we're not loaning all of our cash out. We need to have liquidity. So they had a lot of bonds. But you go back in September, they had a AOCI of negative $500 million, $513 million. So they had the bonds, but with the rise in rates, the bonds and securities, values were less than their what they paid for. So when they liquidated them, that was the huge loss. And then there was another $175 million or so of loss that they had to charge off that they were no longer going forward in their own crypto, their own coin. So they had to charge off all the goodwill they had associated with that industry.